One of the hallmarks of Mughal painting is the purity and clarity of the colours. It's very, very seductive. I chose to demonstrate the production of two very important colours in the palette. One is Lapis Lazuli and the other is malachite. The process is very similar. You start by selecting the highest quality you can get. You then break up the mineral. Sometimes you can actually spend several days pounding away. The next job is to try and remove natural impurities, and we do this using a universal method known as levigation. And that's a little bit like cleaning rice. You pour a lot of water onto it and you stir it around. And the heavy colour particles will sink to the bottom. And all the rubbish and stuff you don't want is swirling around in the water, which you pour off. Once you've got it to a certain level of clean, you'll see that the mineral separates itself into three distinct layers. At the top we get the finest particles, which are responsible for those shades that you see in Mughal painting. We're now going to use the ground glass sheet to grind it a little more. Another colour that was very important in Mughal painting is Lapis Lazuli. It was mined in only one place in Afghanistan, and it was the colour of kings. It is famously one of the hardest rocks to grind. Once the mineral is dry ground, we introduce water. Having washed the pigment, you come to the point where you're ready to make the paint. First of all, I add gum arabic. That's what sticks the particles together into the page. Other additions like honey or milk improve the application. You often get an idea that the pigment is of the right consistency by the sound it makes when you mull it. So instead of having that sandpaper sound, you end up with just a whisper, sort of a swish. I feel very authentic when I'm working with mineral pigments. There's something immensely satisfying about getting into that visceral involvement with the entire process. Lapis Lazuli, it's a bit of a prima donna when you come to use it, because it absolutely won't respond to being laid in an even flat layer. So one of the ways to overcome this is to burnish each layer with a polished stone like an agate. What this actually does is to embed the particles of colour into the surface. And this is one of the reasons why the pages of Mughal manuscripts tend to retain the crispness of the colour. I feel it's important to go to the pains to try and understand how the original masters worked. It absolutely widens and deepens our understanding of the art form and answers a lot of questions about why things were painted in the way they were.